Do you drink a lot of coffee?
No, I mean, I'm not like an everyday coffee drinker. No,
Oh no,
no,
you're a first, man.
really.
Yeah, good on you. You just
So
never started it, huh?
I'll tell you when I started, it was when I got in real estate. I never drank coffee before real estate, and they just had it at the office when I first started working. Am I too far from the mic?
Yeah, if you could.
Sorry.
Oh, you could. I mean, this can move, so you can move that however you
Um,
kind of want to.
yeah. So that's how I originally started drinking coffee. It was in the office.
Yeah.
So I just kind of picked it up. But I still drink coffee. My wife drinks coffee every day. I'll have probably about every other day on average.
How does your wife make her coffee?
I mean, we have a Keurig. We're not like fancy coffee folks.
Yeah.
So, you put the pot in there. She likes like the donut brand,
Yeah.
whatever. So I typically would drink the breakfast brand just because I'm definitely not like a black coffee drinker,
Gotcha. Yeah.
and I just want something a little light really for the caffeine to kind of get me going.
Yeah.
I have gotten away from using creamer much or at all because I found this like wellness thing that's like powder that you put in it that's
Okay.
supposed to be better for you for creamer. And
What is it? Is it like powdered milk or something?
it's like a combination of things that are
Okay.
supposed to be good for you. But
Yeah.
I mean, we get like a little bag monthly and
Okay.
do it. But I mean, it makes it palatable for me, so I don't need the creamer,
Yeah.
and just as good. So I feel like I get a kind of a little boost from it and
Yeah.
feel a little bit better about myself than dumping a bunch of creamer in there.
Does caffeine have a big effect on you?
I don't see how it could because I drink a decent amount of caffeine. I mean,
So what do you drink? Like if you're not drinking coffee,
I mean,
energy drinks kind of stuff?
no, not energy drinks, but like stevia drinks.
Okay.
Okay. Diet Pepsi is my drink.
Okay.
I love Diet Mountain Dew, but I try not to drink a lot of it.
Yeah.
But there's like another brand that's made with stevia that I drink because it doesn't have caffeine, so I drink that most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah, because I try to stay away from it. But
so you're a diet. You're not a zero, like a Dr. Pepper zero.
No. I like when we travel to Europe.
Yeah.
You have to you almost have to drink the zero because they don't have light in a lot of places or diet in a lot of places. But I mean, diet just tastes better to me.
Really?
I know it's not great for you, but I mean, something's gonna kill me, so I might as well enjoy what I'm drinking, I guess.
That's what they say. They're like, the levels of danger for cancer, they said, for aspartame is the same level as your iPhone.
Oh well, then I'm getting it going both ways, I guess.
Which is like low, obviously, but I mean, to be sure, your iPhone probably is kicking off some kind of radiation that's probably not great for you, especially when it's on your face all the time. I know some people are like only speakerphone, don't keep it in your pocket kind of stuff. Don't keep it in your front pocket. But I don't know. That's just what you see online. Who knows if it's true?
Who knows? Yeah, there's so much info out there these days. It's kind of hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is Smooth Joe. It's in North Raleigh.
Oh, cool. Local. Nice.
Yeah. So we try to stick to local. We were just talking to somebody before we started. I go, I think this is like the last local roaster.
You've hit them all, huh?
I think I've hit them all.
You gotta branch out further into North Carolina, huh?
Yeah, because I don't know what episode this is going to be or when it airs. It'll be a few weeks, but I think we have like 16 or something.
Wow.
Recorded.
Nice.
And I'm like, and there's not, that many roasters in the area.
Sure.
So now I'm like, all right, either I got to go back through and try the different beans of the roasters, which we've done one of that, or try like, hey, this one's from Charlotte, this one's from wherever, and try local roasters, but in different cities or towns.
How have you made your selection so far?
Coffee roasters near me, and then that's where I go.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
When I started the show, and I had the idea of the coffee and stuff, because I wanted to obviously talk to real estate agents and real estate professionals, entrepreneurs in general.
Sure.
It's obviously been 99% realtors, but I thought, okay, I'd like to add another element to it, a small element. So what could it be? Well, we're probably not going to throw back beers or bourbon on the show at 10 a.m. So what about like coffee? Most people can kind of get coffee. And so I had a list of as many roasters I could find before I even started. And then learn how those roasters, I have like notes in my phone. So this roaster says you need 16-1 coffee to water ratio when you're brewing it. This one's 15-1. They're all about the same.
Okay.
And so I try to follow their brewing instructions too, and pick out the bag that I'm going to use. And so
nice.
that was all a lot of front end stuff. But now I'm like kind of wrapping up with my
Right.
list, and I'm like, I don't
You
know.
got to revisit
I got to
season
revisit,
2 or
go
whatever, right?
somewhere else. And I was like, you know what? I don't even mind. Like, I made a post on Instagram like, hey, what other coffee roasters should I try?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like national ones,
Uh-huh.
like Black Rifle and stuff like that
Sure.
that I would love to highlight. Obviously, I really wanted to get the local ones first because those are, to me, local is most important.
Of
But
course.
so I think we'll start doing some of like the more national ones. I think it'd be cool to even see like, hey, we bought one time the huge bag at Costco, like massive, and it's like $14. It's the Kirkland,
Oh, yeah.
and I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, let's review that one too,
Yeah.
because it's like maybe that one for budget wise is the best option. I don't know. So
Yeah.
we'll see which direction we take it. But anyway, this is Smooth Joe coffee roasters, but this is also the Smooth Joe blend. So it's kind of like their house blend. It's a whole bean.
Cool.
It's a medium roast. You should be tasting notes of hazelnut, brown sugar. Wow, there's a lot of notes in here. Barley, green tea, dark cocoa, and dried green apple.
Interesting.
So at the end, we'll review it, and let me know if you taste any of those. It's hazelnut, brown sugar, roasted barley. I don't know what roasted barley tastes like. Green tea, dark cocoa, dried green apple. I wouldn't think a green apple would be like, oh yeah, give me some green apple coffee.
Yeah, that's not a flavor I would expect to hear either.
It's not a flavor that I've picked up on anyway so far. So, but anyway, yeah, we'll dive into it at the end. Let me know what you think of it. I'm glad you wore that polo because I was trying to memorize the date of when Oceanaire Realty was founded.
Oh, yeah.
I kept saying like 1978 because it's the lead based pen thing. And I'm like,
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, it's not 1978. It's 1979. Remember 1979. And then you have it on your thing. I'm like, oh, perfect. I don't have to memorize it.
There you go. Try and make it easy for you.
So yeah. Tell me this. Tell me how all that came about. I mean, Brandon kind of hit on it a little bit.
Sure.
But I really like. Obviously, you own it now, so I want to talk to you about that and your grandfather and how it all kind of came about and how you took it over.
Well, I appreciate you asking. I worked in higher ed fundraising and development for 13 years. And, life happens. We were living in Elizabeth City. I was working at the university out there. My wife got a great job opportunity. We needed to move either to Raleigh or Charlotte just because she has to fly a lot for work, or at least she did then.
Okay.
We weren't going to move to Charlotte. No offense to Charlotte. We both went to state. We had lived in Raleigh for most of our married lives. Yeah. We knew when we moved to Elizabeth City, we'd be back in Raleigh at some point. So it just worked out. Long story short, I had a friend who I saw had just gotten into real estate. We talked with her about selling our house that we rented while we were in Elizabeth City, in Cary, to buy another house. Long story short, I decided to make the leap into real estate. Fortunately, my wife had a job which gave us enough kind of financial security to be able to afford to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and worked for another firm for about 3 years and decided, hey, I think I can do this on my own. Thinking about how I wanted that to look. I mean, I worked for an independent firm, so I was going to be independent.
Right.
And the name just meant a lot to me. I had always thought about real estate maybe as something I would enjoy because of my granddad, and that's kind of why I made the leap in the first place. Like, I remember going to his office on the beach, and he had a corkboard on the wall with Polaroids of houses that were for sale because, there was no, IDX sites
so
back
cool.
then.
Yeah.
There was no Zillow or any of that stuff. So it was just wild. And so I brought the name back when I started my own company, and I started at the coast. So originally I was working there, even though I still lived in Raleigh. I wanted to not compete with my former employer. So I started there. And then, after a year or so, I decided to branch out and start in Raleigh too. So now I've got a team that works down at the coast. I've got a team in Raleigh where I live, and that's where Brandon is as well. And so we cover about a third of the state, which is really cool to be able to work in so many counties, but primarily, we're here in the Triangle. And then at the coast, primarily it's like Onslow, Pender, New Hanover, Brunswick, Duplin counties. Those are kind of our hot spot.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So did you spend a lot of time with your grandpa in the office? Like, was that something growing up watching your grandfather? Like, that's
just knowing he was in it, like riding around with him in the car. Like, I remember seeing him have signs out, things like that. At our coast office, I have one of his old like advertisement signs, which was on the side of the road. I can go tell you exactly where it was. I remember in Holly Ridge, but we've got it on the wall, and it's just like it's the old. So this logo at the bottom was the same logo he had on his sign. So it's like 1980s clip art, which I love it just because it's kind of
cool.
kitschy and old,
Yeah.
but cool.
Yeah.
And I added "the" to the name when I started because there's also an Oceanaire Realty in Florida, and I didn't want there to be like any confusion when you're searching on the web or anything like that.
Right.
So I added that, not because I like Ohio State or anything like that. It's not about the. It was just it's just a differentiator. Yeah. So
yeah, that makes sense, man. That's cool. So how long, when he started in 1979, was he running it until he passed, or did he?
Well, yeah, he got kind of sick in the early 2000s, so he wasn't doing it as much anymore. But, my granddad, so he was in the Army. Then he basically ran the post office in Holly Ridge. They needed a new post office in Holly Ridge, so he built the building and then leased it back to the government. His name is on the building, like the cornerstone or whatever. And that's where our office is today.
Okay.
It's the old post office. So my parents own it. We renovated it in like 2001 or 21 and then moved in, and that's where my post office is today. So, yeah.
That's cool. Are you going to that office a lot?
I try to get down there every month.
Okay.
We meet virtually every week. I do a mastermind session that we do on Zoom every Thursday, most Thursdays, and it's on our YouTube page. If any agent ever wants to check it out, we just talk about what's happening in the business, what's going on with people. Like yesterday, we had a home inspector on just to talk about, hey, what are you seeing out there? What are issues that are coming up a lot now? What are things we need to make sure that we're looking out for? It's just a way to continue to learn and kind of interact with each other and get better, so we're better for our clients.
Yeah. When did you pick up the baton?
So I got my license in November of 2014, so almost 11 years ago. And then it was September of 2017 when I brought the name back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. What did all your family think of it? Like, were they all total support?
Oh, yeah, completely. Yeah. I think my parents thought it were really cool.
Yeah.
Brandon wasn't in real estate at that point. It took me a little bit longer to convince him to get into it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody thought it was really cool, and a lot of great reaction from back home because people that knew my grandfather, they recognized the name from when. So yeah, I mean, it was really meaningful.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me. I like to think that he would be, and my grandma would be really proud that I brought it back, because my grandma, which doesn't get talked a lot about when we're talking about Oceanaire, she was an entrepreneur too. She owned a hair salon, so they were both really headstrong, entrepreneurial spirits, get out there, work, do it. And, they built a really nice life for themselves, but it came with a lot of hard work, of course.
Yeah. Man, that's
set some really good examples for us.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. So your firm now, I'd like to kind of talk to you about that, because I did the independent thing for 2 years, and that's what I was like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. My goal was to be like the biggest in Hardin County. Anyway, 2 years go by, and I'm like, it's kind of expensive. I mean, it's very expensive. It's a lot harder to run it. It's a lot harder to run an independent brokerage, in my experience, than it is to just go to a brokerage and have a team.
Yeah.
Way harder. There's so many different factors in an independent brokerage. You got to come up with the CRM, the branding, everything's on you. So how did you, when you first going in, you were in the business for 3 years to, okay, I can take this on. Kind of what was your biggest hurdles when you first started with an independent?
Excuse me. Sorry.
No, you're right.
I think it's just, if you want to grow, it's hard to find and retain good people. It just is what it is, and it's also really hard not to take it incredibly personally when somebody leaves. I mean, it hurts in a lot of ways because it feels like they're rejecting you. And I've had people that have left that I'm really glad they left. Thanks for leaving before I had to tell you to leave, right? But I've also had people that I really cared about, that had a really great relationship, that left. And, that you have to do what's best for your family, and I get it, but it still hurts.
Yeah.
After a while, I think you figure out how to stop taking it so personally. It really is just business. But that I don't think a lot of people come to that easily.
Right.
It's difficult. And that's on top of all the other. I mean, it is expensive. it would be easier to just go hang my license
Mhm.
somewhere, but I don't want to go to somebody else's
Mhm.
office,
Mhm.
and I don't want to have to sit in somebody else's meeting,
Right.
and I don't want to have to be accountable
Right.
to anybody else. So I'm willing to do the other stuff so I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We had an office in Raleigh, and we got rid of it because the agents didn't use it.
Okay.
I mean, it looked like this every day,
Right. Right.
because so what's the point of having one?
Right.
But our coast office people use it.
Right.
So we still have one down
Mhm.
there. I give the people what they say they want. So,
Mhm.
I like not going into the office.
Oh, okay.
It's fine with me. I still talk to just about all of my agents, if not on a daily, on a weekly basis.
Okay.
Ideally, I don't want my agents in the office.
Right.
You should be out, hopefully showing home.
Right. Right.
Right. I get it for the collaboration piece,
Right.
but you don't have to be in the same space as somebody to collaborate with
Right.
somebody.
Right.
But I mean, it's all about what people want. So I
Mhm.
try to give people, the resources that they're telling me that they want.
They want. Yeah. Like if you had a big influx of people that were like, "Dude, we need an office,"
Yeah.
then maybe
Yeah,
we'll
maybe
look into it.
100%.
Yeah.
At one point I was like, I really want to focus on growth. I want to be big. I can see where I can get out of being in production. I'm glad I'm still in production, because I want to know what's happening out there.
Right.
And that's what I love about real estate is meeting new people.
Yeah.
I think in my past career in higher ed fundraising and in real estate, it's just about relationships.
Right.
When I was asking people for money, it's about, what are you passionate about? What do you want to support? When I'm helping somebody buy or sell a house, it's like, what do you want to accomplish? I'm not trying to convince them to do it. They already know they want to do
Mhm.
it. It's just like, why am I the best person to help you do it?
Right.
Right. So let's talk about that and how I can facilitate it for you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with helping agents. How can I be the person that's the best to help you accomplish your goals in real estate? And if I'm the right fit, great. If I'm not, it's not like there aren't plenty of other choices.
Yeah.
You can't swing a cat without hitting a real estate agent.
Right.
So
What advice would you give to somebody who's looking to go independent, start an independent brokerage?
just be prepared for the costs, and be prepared for
Break down some of those costs if you don't mind. Like,
Well-
why is it so expensive?
Well,
Obviously, I know because I do.
sure. Yeah. The CRM is not cheap.
Yeah.
If you're buying leads, that's not cheap.
Mhm.
Even if you have a partner that you're working with, which we do. I'm very fortunate to have some great partners. There's insurance, there's marketing.
Right.
If you have an office, I mean, that's significant overhead.
Mhm.
This space isn't cheap for
Right.
Compass. Compass is a huge organization, but it's still not cheap, I'm
Right.
sure. So there's a lot of costs. They're just are, and they add up really quickly. Internet, power, utilities, that stuff. You got to have all those if you have an office. So,
Copier, paper,
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
office materials, all that stuff, it does add up, and it's the cost of doing business, and it's tax deductible for the most part.
Mhm.
So that's good, but you still got to have to upfront the money, right? You
Right.
got to pay it
Right.
when it's due. So that means you better sell some stuff
Mhm.
to do it. So I wouldn't take it lightly, going out and doing your own thing, but just do your research and be aware of kind of what goes into it. And when I started, I was doing really well on the firm that I was, which kind of gave me the confidence to go off and do my own thing. But man, those first 6 months were pretty lean. It took
Mhm.
a while to get some traction when you start over like
Yeah.
that. And when I got into real estate, I think Brandon said the exact same thing on his show, but it's like all my friends were at the age where they already had a house.
Yeah.
So it's not like my sphere was beating down my door
Right.
to help me. Now I've helped plenty of people that I know over the years since then, but it takes a while, and people want to see that you know what you're doing before they trust you to
Yeah.
make a big decision. They're not going to do it just because you're their friend
All right. Right.
necessarily.
Yeah.
So you have to prove it with some other successes first. So getting started, open houses. I got a lot of great connections and leads from doing open houses,
Mhm.
and internet leads. I was just a keyboard and a phone warrior. Just out there making it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I found doing the independent brokerage, the tough part for me was to focus on, like, I spent too much time focusing on the brokerage.
Yeah.
Building it, the CRMs,
Oh.
doing the demos with these CRM people.
Oh yeah.
You buy and you're like, oh, this actually kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And then you got to switch. And then, I mean, there's so much that I felt, even like the branding and the marketing, the recruiting of agents, all that takes a lot of time and money, that I felt, for me, like I spent too much time on that and not enough time on serving my clients properly.
Sure.
How do you find time to balance all that?
It's really hard. I'm not going to lie. I spend a lot of my time doing work for other people, not related to my clients, for, the CRM. Long story short, not to complain, but just to kind of give you an example, because this is what I've dealt with over the last year. I had always been with Boomtown from my previous firm until I started my firm, Boomtown. Well, if you're in the industry, you know anything about Boomtown, Boomtown got hacked last April of 2024. And they basically lied to other clients for a month about it and said, no, we didn't get hacked, but they did. So our website was down, our CRM was down for a month. And then they lied about it to us, and then they offered some BS to make up for it. So we switched CRMs. Well, 2 CRMs after that first switch, now we're on another CRM because neither one of those moves went really well. And so it's been a really tough year with regard to that. I think we're in a really good spot now. But that makes it really difficult. And for your agents to stick with you when they know you're trying to do the best you can for them, but there's significant challenges, means a lot. And I'm really thankful that my team has stuck with me through these transitions because it's been hard. But that's been a lot of time that I'm not trying to help clients or prospecting, dealing with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the admin piece or, the ownership piece, it does take a lot of time away from it, especially when you're still trying to be in production, because I don't want to count on my folks for me to break even.
Right.
I think I need to be participating. That's why I'm still in production. But it's still difficult. But I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love seeing a brand new agent come in and be wildly successful.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories, an agent who's not with me anymore because she moved out of state, but she told me her goal was when she got into real estate. I mean, she'd been a stay-at-home mom. She was a military wife. So I want to buy my husband a boat. She bought her husband a boat.
Hear that, honey?
So, but that's just one of the things,
yeah.
Or to see another agent build their dream house on the water, stuff like that, or just to make it easier on their family,
right?
Stuff like that. Or,
I can make enough to pay mortgage every month.
Yeah. Or to see, Brandon is a great example too. I think he would say this, and he might have said it on your show. He felt like he had hit a ceiling in his previous career. Well, the great thing about real estate, there's not really a ceiling,
right? That's the beauty of it,
right?
Yeah,
it's the curse, but it's also the beauty of it. Yeah. So I mean, and we can talk all day about why agents fail. People coming into the business with the wrong idea about the business, they think it's easy. You just got to show up, and we all know that's not true, and we know how many people don't last in the business.
Yeah. Do you know on the top of your head what is that rate of failure? I think it's something crazy in the first 2 years.
It's crazy, but it's definitely the first 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the first 2 years is a big marker, because you can't go 2 years without really making any money.
Right.
You're going to be on the street or whatever. So, I mean, it's really tough. And I've seen agent, and the thing is, even with all the tools, some people still can't do it.
Right.
And I'm not saying that you have to be built for it, but there is some natural stuff that comes along with it. One thing I like about real estate and that I liked about fundraising was I'm introverted. If I go to a party, I'm on the side.
Okay.
I'm not in the middle yucking it up really. Especially if there aren't a lot of people there that I know. But real estate forces me to talk to people, which is great because I enjoy it. It's challenging for me.
Yeah.
So to be able to meet new people and help them make a really big decision that really kind of makes you a little bit a part of their family and, helps with their life story is really cool to me. And I enjoy staying in touch with people and seeing what's happening in their lives and all that stuff. Yeah.
So when a new agent says, Doug, I like what you guys are doing over there at the Oceanaire Realty,
thank you. Appreciate that.
I just got my license. I have the drive. I have the entrepreneurial spirit, I think, to make it work.
Yeah.
But I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
Well, what are your goals? What is it that you're setting out to do?
I want to, this is my full-time career.
Okay.
I want to rock and roll. I want to be number one.
Okay. Well, then let's be ready to work. And definitely in the first 90 days, you have to pour everything you can into this, because if you can't get some traction, and there's those first 3 months, it's going to be really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to dial you into our training, which I think our training is really robust.
What does your training look like?
It's really self-paced, but it's really well documented.
Okay.
And I'm kind of there every step of the way too. So I give you stuff to work through and then recap it with you to make sure you kind of gather the material and understand it before progressing to the next step. And that's general knowledge and approach kind of based stuff, setting yourself up mentally. And understanding scripting and things like that. But then it's also, diving into our systems and making sure you know how to utilize
Did you come up with this training?
I mean, it's a mix of what I was taught and also other stuff that I've added in myself, because as real estate agents, I think there are some kind of core principles that you're going to learn no matter where you go. The important part I think about real estate is, a script is cool and all, but it can't just be a script. Like you have to figure out how to say it in your own language.
Right. Okay.
And I think so many people, especially like when prospecting, it's like, okay, I'm just focused on checking off a list or making a call and saying that I made the call instead of being involved in the call and having discussion and being present. We talk a lot about, I think Brandon actually said this too on the episode, but it's true because we talk about it, actively listening.
Yeah.
A lot of people listen to respond. Shut up. Just listen, let the people finish and then talk.
Right.
And I think real estate agents hurt themselves a lot in that way because they know in their mind they need certain questions answered, but they're more focused on getting the questions answered than they are in understanding what the people are saying.
Yeah.
And that's how you make the connection, by actively listening
Yeah.
and showing people that you're listening and that you're invested in it and that you care.
I've never been a big script guy myself, but I do know people who've been successful with it because they've been able to, okay, here's the principles of the script. Yeah. I can take it in my own words and kind of run with it. But like this podcast, for example, the first episode I did was with Davis Holt. He did phenomenal. So if you go back and listen, just know he did great. My side was not so good, but I had my iPad sitting right here and I had my questions. And like you were saying with active listening, that's why I don't have any questions. I just want to know. I want to know about Doug. And so, but then it was like I would ask Davis a question, he would answer, and I'm like totally zoned out of what he's saying because I'm like, okay, what's going to be my next follow-up question?
That's a great example.
And I think it really took away from the conversation, right? Like I didn't really get to know Davis that well because I was so zoned in on my questions. And it's the same thing with these listing appointments or buyer's consultations you go on. If you go on a buyer consultation and you were just so concerned about, okay, what's your motivation? And they're telling you about, my wife's pregnant. We got to go move to wherever to be closer to family. But your next question, you're thinking about like, okay, what's your, whatever your rate is, or, what does your month-to-month payment look like? That you don't even care about the emotional side of the reason they're buying or selling or whatever.
Right.
And I think people can see right through that.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, real estate agents, I think there's already the preconceived notion that we're kind of like used car salesmen. No offense to used car salesmen, but I mean, it's just kind of, so you have to work to kind of overcome that stereotype a little bit, I think, especially if it's like an internet lead. Like, I don't know you.
Right.
How many sites have they registered on?
Yeah.
You never know. So, that can be difficult, but it also is a great opportunity. Let me introduce myself.
Right.
Yeah. And if it's good, it's good. Let's go. Yeah. And if it's not the right fit, that's fine.
Yeah. At what point did the Oceanaire Realty you feel took off? I told Brandon this. Like, it's impressive what you built. There's a lot of independent brokerages that you've not heard of until you met.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But when Brandon reached out to me after Liz's episode, hey, great episode, Liz. I know her very well. You know, all that stuff. And I'm like, Brandon with Oceanaire Realty. I'm like, okay, like it's a household name that I've heard. Oh, so great job.
Well, that's cool.
That it's, because it's hard in this industry, competing with big names like Keller Williams, Remax, Compass, whatever it is,
sure, to
build a recognizable brand. So kudos to you.
I appreciate that. That's really nice.
But I don't know where I was going with this question.
That's okay. It's because you don't have a script, and that's fine.
I don't have a script. I don't know. Something about probably building a brand. I don't remember. I don't really remember what I was going with that. I just got lost in the.
That's okay.
In the Oceanaire Realty.
Well, if it comes back to you, let me know.
I'll let you know.
I'll say really quickly. it is really cool when people recognize the brand, because it's not just about me. It's about my family,
Right.
really. And that means a lot, especially it's Oceanaire and I'm in Raleigh or
Right.
Cary
Yeah.
right now. I mean, what the hell does that have to do
Right.
with the triangle? Nothing, right? What I think that proves is, for independent agents, nobody cares about your brand. They care about you.
Right.
Like if you're depending on Compass or Keller Williams or Remax or Oceanaire to make you a better agent because you're associated with that label,
Right.
that you're headed in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
You are your brand. The Oceanaire for my team is, the avenue through which they can expand their own brand.
Yeah.
Right. Because we all have to do that unless you start your own company.
Right.
Right. But at the end of the day, it's about you.
Yeah.
People are choosing you. They're not choosing Oceanaire. They're choosing Brandon or Janine or Mark or Connor or Ellen or one of my other agents.
Right.
They're choosing you because they made the connection with you.
100%.
So if you're relying on what's on your shirt to get you business, you might be one of those 2-year folks.
Yeah. No, 100%. I totally agree with that. I think the brokerage that you affiliate with has to align with you. And NAR put out a stat that 7% of people hire based on the brokerage which you're affiliated.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you sell 100 houses a year, only 7 of them maybe 7, if
right.
It's average.
No.
Are saying, well, I want to hire Doug because of the Oceanaire Realty,
right.
instead of I want to hire Doug because, man, Doug's a great guy. He's down to earth. I really want to get to know him better.
Right.
I trust him. But yeah.
Well, and how many people switch brokerages because it's the brokerage's fault? But is it really?
Yeah.
I mean, not to pile on, folks, but it's not your brokerage's fault.
Right. Yeah. When we were talking earlier about kind of that 2-year thing,
mm-hmm.
Real estate, being a real estate agent is such an entrepreneurial endeavor. Like you said, you got to build your own brand.
Yeah.
And can you be an entrepreneur or can you be a real estate agent without being like having that entrepreneurial drive? Maybe. But I believe that it's kind of ingrained in you. Like when you were a kid, did you think, man, I really want to just sit in an office all day? If you did, then it's probably not the job for you because it's like, or, like my wife has no desire, none, to do what I do.
Yeah.
She likes the fact that she can clock into work and clock out and not think about it.
Yeah.
Me, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me, oh, you can only take 2 weeks of vacation a year, or you can, you have to be here at this time. Oh, sorry, you have to wait till 12 before you can take your lunch.
Right.
What? Like, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I
mean, I did that for more than a decade.
Yeah.
And I was a government employee and I had a pension lined up, which I gave away to get into real estate.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'd do it again right now.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
And I don't blame people that do that. Security is there. Real estate is not for the faint of heart. I mean, Brandon says this a lot. And I say what Brandon says a lot because we talk to each other. But I mean, you got to wake up every day and go out there and hunt and kill it and drag it back home, or you're not going to eat.
Right.
And that's the beauty and the curse of this business, because if you're not willing to do that, well, then you're going to starve.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are willing to do that, you can eat really well.
You can eat really well.
So
instead of waiting for somebody to portion up the sizes for you.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So, that's cool, man. I'm still really bothered. I can't think of where I was going with that story. Speaking of active listening, like, yeah, great, Doug. I'm trying to think of what I was trying to say before. But no, that's cool. Where do you guys kind of see yourself going, as far as the brand and all
that? Right now, I don't have any goals as far as I want to grow to a certain size or do a certain amount of volume. Every December or January, we sit down and make our individual goals for the year. And so that's the goals for the company, but it's always driven by what the individuals want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of starts from there. Am I always looking to hire? Yeah, sure. If it's the right fit.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to run ads on Indeed, to try and find, I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I let people know that I'm open to hire, and I let people know kind of the different options we offer for agents, because we have a couple of different setups based on what your personal goals are.
Can you dive into those?
Yeah, of course. So I've got a pretty basic structure, which is if you want to be on lead gen, which is mostly for newer agents who aren't generating their own business. It's a 50-50 split if it's a team lead. But if it's your sphere lead or a past client, it's 70-30. So I think pretty generous to still get team leads. If you don't want any team leads and you just want to hang your license with us and have access to our tools, it's 90-10. That's every transaction. There's no cap. There's no fees for anybody on our team. That's it. It is what it is.
That's cool.
So it's
Plain and simple.
It's plain and simple. I want to make it as easy to understand as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and our stuff has evolved in the 8 whatever years that
Yep.
Oceanaire has been up and running underneath me, and it's basically been driven by what the agents have told me what works best for them.
Yeah.
So it's not the same as it was when I started.
I thought about that too when I started. So mine was 90-10 as well. And I didn't have any like internet leads or anything, so that wasn't really a factor. But I always thought hey, why don't you pick the kind of commission split you want? Like if you want more volume, then you're gonna have to. I mean, we're giving that volume to you. You got to pay for it, obviously. Sure. But being able to, you're really experienced. You'll get a better split than the guy who just walked in, but says he doesn't need the internet leads. He can go do it himself. But I'm the one, I have to hold his hand while he's doing it. Like, to have different levels, I think is a great idea. Yeah, and I don't, most, especially these bigger brokerages, don't really do it. I know Compass is very it's agent by agent, so not all Compass agents have the same.
Sure.
I don't know what their qualification is to work for Compass. I guess I met it.
That's all you need to know.
I need to know. There is a new agent couldn't just come and hang their license here. They would have to be on a team, but I know my split is going to be different with a more successful agent.
Sure.
And my split is going to be different with the less successful agent split. So, I do like that. Like when I was at Keller Williams, it was just, here's the splits for everybody.
Yeah.
And then you had to give 10% to a coach you never met. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, you don't have to get me started on coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a coach because I own a company, but I'm not interested in coaching other agents. I'm interested in coaching my agents. I'm not interested in being a coach to generate income. I'm interested in coaching my agents so they can generate income. Right. You know what I mean? I mean, I get why people do it, but that's not really my thing.
Yeah. No, I've never done the coaching thing. Yeah. I've never. I don't have enough, even if I was hey, I want to be a coach, I've been in it for 7 years. I feel like you need to be doing it, grinding for a while. And I know a lot of these, I see a lot of these agents here's my new coaching program. And I'm like, you've been in it for 3 years.
Yeah.
You've sold, maybe 30 houses in those 3 years.
Yeah.
Why would I ever?
Right.
Because you talk well, you can motivate.
Right.
Okay, I can go to YouTube and find a video of David Goggins. So, it's all good. But yeah, and then I've never been involved in a coaching program. I have heard of some really good success stories from some. But the motivation thing for me, I've always just had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to get it done.
I think so.
Yeah.
And look, hey, that's certainly, the tide ebbs and flows. Okay. I'm not as motivated as I maybe have been right now.
Right.
I've had a really good year, but I'm really slow right now. So it's you got to pick it up.
Yeah.
Just because you've had a good year for the first 9 months, you still got 3 months to go.
Right.
And that happens. It's part of it. But I also like to go on vacations,
mm-hmm.
and I also like to not work, and I also like to watch my kids play ball,
yeah.
And stuff like that too. And I think that's also very, I'm not ashamed to say it, but that's why I love it, because I can do what I want to.
Yeah.
And at this point, I just turned 47 this week. I really want to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
I thank you. I appreciate that. But I mean, I think that's what's great. I think that's why a lot of people choose real estate, because they know that's possible.
Right.
But a lot of people don't do what they need to do to actually make it possible. And there's a difference there.
There's a big difference.
There's a huge difference there. So
I would say if you talk to a new agent and you say, what's the number one reason you want to be in real estate? Oh, the freedom.
Yeah.
Flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay. You still have to earn that flexibility, that freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get your license and never sell, and then you have all the freedom in the world.
Right.
You can do whatever you want.
That's exactly
you don't
right.
have any money,
right? What you can do with it?
You can run around and go on vacations all you want until you run out of savings. How many kids you got?
2.
How old are they?
15 and 13.
Oh,
yeah.
Fun ages.
Yeah.
Boy, girl.
2 boys.
2 boys.
8th grade and 10th grade. Just bought a car.
Wow.
Yep. It's turned 16 in October, so he'll start. We got his appointment. If you don't know, everybody knows the DMV sucks, but to get an appointment to actually get your license is really terrible. So we already have an appointment for November, and it's in the Outer Banks, because that was the first one we could find.
That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
how's it been raising 2 boys while building this business?
fantastic. I mean, when I was little, I thought about this yesterday. I always wanted to be a dad, so it's like the best thing in my life.
Yeah.
I love my kids, and they're hilarious, and they're so much fun, and they're really good kids. Like, we don't worry about them, thankfully, and not everybody can say that.
Yeah.
And I hope that it will continue that way. I think it will, because they're really good kids. But, it's just, I'm really blessed. I feel like, not just work wise, but also family wise and friend wise. So
Yeah.
I've got a lot to be thankful for, and I try to remember that.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, that's huge. I know obviously you're still a little young, but do they have any desire to get into the field?
Maybe my youngest, he's talked about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could see him doing that, because he's kind of got that personality.
Yeah.
My oldest could do it if he wanted to, but he hasn't talked about it being something that he's interested in, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force either one of them to.
Yeah. I have a 5-month-old, about to be 6-month-old dog.
Wow.
And
You're only one?
only one, first one.
Man, you're just fresh into the game.
She was up from 3 to 5 last night.
You're doing great then.
This coffee is
Yeah.
I mean, this is like
Now I know why you do the coffee show.
I think this is my 3rd cup today.
Oh, wow.
But and maybe that's why I can't remember what I was trying to say. That's all. I always tell him, like, yeah, like, I have these like unrealistic expectations that she's gonna be like, oh, she's gonna grow up, Dad, you built this great business. I can't wait to work for you someday. And
Yeah.
she's gonna turn 18. She's gonna get a real estate license. She's gonna take it over. And I just know that she's gonna turn 18 and be like, nope, I don't want anything to do with it. So I'm trying to manage expectations now.
Yeah.
Because that'll be a kick to the face. I mean, we want a couple kids, so hopefully one of them will turn out.
There you go.
So-
Just keep going until one of them commits, right?
Commit.
You built your own recruiting
And
right
if
there.
none of them do, then the last one, it's like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, like,
Yeah.
you're toast.
That's
your other
okay.
siblings had choices. You don't have any free will in this.
There you go.
But yeah, she's been great. I think the reason she's been up, she has getting like teeth,
Oh, yeah.
and so she's just uncomfortable, which is sad, because it's like my little princess baby's upset, and I just want to hold her, and yeah, it was sad, but also at the same time, I'm like, go to freaking sleep.
Yeah.
I need to get up soon.
Well, it's very cliche, but I will tell you that it does go by incredibly fast. It's wild to think I've got a sophomore in high school, and I think that we've got like 2.5 years left before he graduates from high school. And he's kind of, I guess, off doing his own thing. So, cherish those moments, because it does go by fast. So one thing I try to tell my folks is, do your best to be present, not and everything you do,
right.
in work. If you're present in work, you're going to be more successful. Also, I'm really lazy, incredibly lazy. So I want to be very efficient, right? So that drives my efficiency, because I'm really lazy.
Right.
So I want to get the maximum output in my minimal effort, right? So I try to be really good when I'm really involved in something. So be very present, and you'll do better, and it'll take you less time.
Yeah.
But for your family, be present.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Show up.
That's always something that we talk about on here and just in life with my friends and my wife and stuff, is how, like, to try to build something great, but ultimately, like, if it doesn't pan out to be great, but I'm a great dad, great, I won.
Yeah.
And so, but trying to find that kind of balance of, like, I could be doing probably more for my business, but now I get to see my daughter grow up. Like, even this 6 months has just flown by, dude. Like, I'm like, she was just born.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Do you know Bob Odenkirk,
I know the name.
the actor?
Yeah.
He was on a podcast. I didn't listen to the podcast. I just saw the clip. But they were like, who's somebody you're jealous of or something? They asked him. And he was like, I'm jealous of anybody with young kids, because like I long for the days to have my kids like young again.
Oh.
And I was like, it was just like this really sweet moment. And that kind of was like, okay, so like enjoy the here and now. Like, yeah, it's frustrating that she's up from 3, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, but like I want to enjoy the time I'm with her now before she's grown up and gone, which I don't like talking about it. She's only 6 months.
Right. Yeah. Well, that made me think of something too, kind of that whole line of discussion, going back to what you said earlier about, suggestions or thoughts for people looking to get into the business. I think naturally for anybody who starts their business, They want to see it grow.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be successful. They want to have recognition, you know, top producer
Right.
or whatever. But I think
Nobody
that,
knows what that means, but whatever.
well, I think people in our industry, I mean, not everybody, but I think some people certainly get caught up in that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's great. And I understand that maybe that helps you feel validated, and maybe it brings you more business too, which of course is fantastic.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'm not competing with Compass.
Right.
You know, I'm not competing with anybody really but myself, because
Mm-hmm.
if I lose business, it's probably because I did something wrong, not
Mhm.
because somebody else
Right.
did something right. And, you know, I don't really care about selling the most houses. I feel really good about seeing my agents hit their goals and hitting my goals, whatever they are, and living comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't need a trophy
Right.
or a banner and everything. Now, if those things happen, that's great, but that's not what motivates me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would say is, I think real estate agents really get into this comparison spiral so much.
Yeah.
And it's probably even worse because real estate agents follow so many other real estate agents on social media.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we tell each other on our team, hey, all your friends probably aren't following as many real estate agents as you are, so don't worry about them getting tired of you posting about
Right.
real estate.
Right.
Because you have to let people know. I tell people, don't be a secret agent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because people have to see you're successful.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to trust you.
Yeah.
But I think it's really dangerous that agents compare themselves to other people
Yeah.
in the business, because, I mean, just don't.
Right.
I mean, just focus on yourself. It doesn't matter what somebody else is selling.
Right.
You don't have to sell what they're selling.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to sell what you're selling to be successful.
Yeah.
You know, there are so many different measurements of what success is.
Yeah.
So define that for yourself instead of letting, you know, somebody else define it for you.
Yeah. And that's what that's what we're trying to work through now is like,
Yeah.
of course I have my goals for the end of the year, but I have my daughter this year. So I'm like, really? Okay. And we're able to pay our bills,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and not like have to freak out. And so I'm like, man, 2025 this has been my best year, you know, and it was, oh, you must have sold a lot. Yeah. Like, yeah, I sold probably more this year than any other year, but like, even besides that, like my daughter entered the world, you know,
That's not my highlight.
that's not my highlight.
Yeah.
It, like, started the podcast. That's great. Still not my highlight.
Yeah.
Like, I love it, but like after this, I get to go home and see my cranky daughter.
There you go. That's fantastic.
But yeah, man, it's been good, and I love like getting people, especially successful people, on how they balance fatherhood and business, because I do know not a lot, but I know some entrepreneurs that are so tied up in their business, and they treat their business almost like it's their child. Like they have this paternal instinct,
Sure.
but instead of taking that paternal instinct towards it, they put that paternal instinct onto their business, and they're just, you know, I never want to be that absent father. Like if I can be that father that's there for my daughter instead of there for my business, well, great. I'm using my paternal instincts in the way that it was meant to be used.
Yeah.
And I just know, especially like growing up, like some of the kids, oh, you know, and then you hear about them like, oh yeah, no, my dad's not, he's always working, he's always doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it also is good to see a hardworking father, but at the same time, a father that's hardworking and there. You do both, you know.
I think my kids would say they definitely know that I work, right? But they also I think they see that I make a real effort for the balance too, which is important. And you have to in our line of work. I mean, you've got to define that balance yourself. And my balance now is different than it was, you know, years ago, because when you're building a business, it has to be a little more out of balance, or you're not going to build it. But you have to figure out how to even it out over time, which I think I've done a good job of doing. And I encourage people to actively work on that balance. It's not something you just let happen. I mean, you have to be mindful and figure it out and make it happen for yourself, I think.
So you've dealt with a lot of agents, obviously, with your business. What do you think makes a great agent great?
You know, I think willing to listen is really important. Willing to look at yourself and gauge what you're doing and try and figure out how you can get better is really important. And just to be genuine is important. I mean, I hate salesy people, and, you know, I hate the sales voice.
Yeah.
I like to think that I talk to people when I'm prospecting or if I meet them at an open house or something like that for the first time, just like I'm talking to you now.
Right.
I mean, I really strive
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hate the show of real
Yeah.
estate. I mean, it's not for me. And I mean, the dressing up in the suits and all, that's really cool.
Mhm.
Or, you know, the nice dresses, that's fine. It's just not my style.
Yeah.
I'm pretty casual.
Yeah.
You can see.
Yeah.
So, but this is, you know, this is how I am, and that's fine. And that works for me. It maybe
Right.
doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's wrong for anybody. It's just not my style.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this business is there's a billion firms and you can go find the firm that fits your style.
Mhm.
And that's like, I don't have to be a fit for everybody.
Right.
I don't want to be a fit for
Right.
everybody.
Right.
I want to be a fit for people who want to do things the way we want to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's fine.
Yep.
Which again, that's what's so great about this industry is you can find your home
Yeah.
and there's lots of options.
Yeah. That's why I like this podcast too is, you know, my goal is really to highlight you, right? Like you and the guest sitting across from me. And I think, you know, when we're talking for, you know, an hour now, like people get to see who's Doug. Like,
Sure.
you know,
Mhm.
yeah, you can see a little clip of you on Instagram, which is cool, but it's just a little clip. It could be edited. It could be
Right.
this. Like, I don't edit this junk, man.
Yeah.
It just goes out.
Completely unfiltered,
It's
right?
unfiltered.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it goes out to the world, and I think it provides a cool opportunity to see, like, man, that is a guy I trust. That he seems like a down to earth guy. That like, oh, I would like to work with him. Like,
Yeah.
he's a good guy. But I don't know. I mean, we're still trying to grow the podcast and stuff. So listen in, everybody.
I think it's a
share it
great
with
idea.
friends.
I think it's cool. One of my favorite things about this business is talking to other agents and
Yeah.
getting to interact with
Yeah.
them and seeing how they approach the business.
Mhm.
I mean, because we're all, you should always be learning.
Right.
That's why we do our mastermind session basically every week. It's because even if you're really successful, you still need to be involved in conversations about what's happening
Yeah.
in the industry. It doesn't mean you need to switch your CRM
Right.
or you need to change your marketing or anything, but I mean, talk about what people are experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
What are your clients talking about
Yeah.
out there?
Yeah.
You know, one thing I love to tell sellers when I'm having a list appointment about their house and making suggestions is, well, I'm suggesting this because I know if I brought a buyer through here, they would point that out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm giving you my perspective because I also know what they're talking about,
Right. Right.
which I think is important too. You have to talk to people.
Yeah.
I think without getting too outside of the real estate world, one of the big problems in our world today is people stop talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Or they stop talking to people that they don't agree with.
Right. Right.
Talk to people you don't agree with.
Right.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're not going to get hurt
Yeah.
with words.
Right.
So go out there, talk to them, listen to their perspective, question your own perspective, and see if you can grow from it.
Yeah.
You know, make yourself better, because if you're better, then your clients will get better service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your parents will get a better dad.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so go
Right.
do those things.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself to do those things. You know, life is not as complicated as people want to make it.
No.
So
No, and I feel like this business isn't, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I feel like it's not as complicated as it's
people are complicated.
Yeah.
The business is not
Right,
complicated.
right. Yeah. Like, you know, obviously there are weeks that you grind.
Yeah.
And it's just part of it. But then there are weeks that you just don't, like next week. Like this week was a busy week for me. Next week, I'm looking at my calendar, I'm like, don't have a whole lot.
Yeah.
But I feel sometimes that we say we're a lot busier than we are. Like if you really drop down everything you're doing, are you really that swamped? Because if you say you're as swamped as you are, then you're working 90 hours every week for 52 weeks. You're not doing that.
Why aren't you selling more houses? then?
Right, right.
If
You
you're
know
really
what I'm
working
saying?
it hard.
Yeah.
I think real estate agents do a good job convincing themselves that they're busy, and they do a lot of busy work.
Right.
But the only stuff that really matters is, you know, for lack of a better term, dollar producing activity.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing to produce? What are you doing to produce?
Yeah.
And it really comes down to prospecting. If you're not prospecting, you're not going to sell houses.
Right.
If you're not following
spend
up people
all day designing the perfect pamphlet on Canva.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you're busy.
Right.
You know,
That's
it means
exactly
you're
right.
wasting your time.
Right.
But I do feel, yeah, I feel like realtors kind of need and I don't want to like bash any realtors, but obviously because I am one. And I'm guilty of this sometimes too, but like I feel we're just not as busy as we like to think we are for the most part. I also don't feel like we're these like heroes that a lot of realtors are like, oh, I'm a hero. I'll do this, I'll do that. Like I know my wife's a nurse, and so
My wife's a nurse.
is she?
By trade, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like my other brother's a state trooper, and so it's
That's a hero. They're on the front
Well,
line.
that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
I'm like, their jobs are hard.
Yeah.
Like, I get to do this. You make good money as a realtor.
Yeah.
You do. And I'm not, and they don't make as much, and they're doing way harder work.
Yeah.
And so I think to like really sit back and go like, not to like bash the industry we're in, but just be grateful that you're in an industry that you aren't working as hard as a nurse or a state trooper, and you can make more money. But say, yeah, that's true, and then appreciate it, but then go do your job.
Right.
So there's my little tangent.
Well, we're not digging ditches, right? I mean,
right.
It's mentally tough
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yes.
but I mean, do we also make it mentally tougher on ourselves? Because
Yeah.
we just, you know, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like, don't let 15 seconds ruin 24 hours.
Yeah.
You know, you have one bad thing and you just dwell on it. I mean, get over it and move on.
Yeah. I'm notorious for that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll let a bad deal or something
Yeah.
ruin my week, man. I'll get a call like, oh, we're backing out for this reason, that reason, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, and then instead of just being like, okay, we'll put it back on the market and figure it out.
I remember still when I was probably maybe 8 or 10 months into the business. I'm sorry, I keep coughing. I got to the point where I didn't know where my next deal was coming from, but I didn't care because I knew it was coming. Because I believe that much in what I've done and the foundation that I've built and the work that I was putting in, that even though I didn't know when it was coming, I knew it would come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a difference there. And I think that's a big step for a real estate agent to get to. It's where, especially if you're doing it for a while, you know, I'm not going to go hungry.
Right.
It's going to happen. I believe, and I know I'm holding myself accountable to put the work in, that I know I'm going to get the result I want. It might not happen in the time frame that I want, but the result's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's a big leap to get there.
Sure.
And I think those people that opt out around that 2-year mark, they never got there.
Right.
Which is why they have to do something else.
Yep.
So
that is the tightrope, because it's like, you do need to make money.
Yeah.
And the first 2 years are hard because people who saw you, you know, they saw you as the bank teller at, you know, Truist, and now you're saying you're a realtor. Okay, well, they don't know you as the realtor. They still know you as the bank teller, you know, or whatever it is. And so it just is one of those things that take time. But it's tough because it's like, well, I still want to be the bank teller, but I got to get my license. And you try to find that balance of like, I still need to make money, but I also I need to grow the business.
Right.
But it takes time to grow the business.
Right.
And you're taking time away from what should be growing the business by being a bank teller.
It's really hard to try and do two things at once. And I was fortunate that I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So I certainly don't fault people that have to take that approach. I completely get it. Again, very fortunate that I did not have to do that, and I could pour myself into real estate full time. But that's why if you are trying to do two things to get to the one thing being real estate, when you're doing real estate, you better be very invested in it, and you better be very efficient in it, because that's the only way you're going to get enough traction to make that leap eventually.
At what point, because like you said, you were fortunate, I didn't either have to like worry about that struggle. I mean, I did, like when I first started, I did some like odd and end jobs just to kind of make some scratch while I was trying to build a business. But at what point do you think a new agent can go full time, quit their job and go full time? I mean, I know it's like, man, it depends on what their financial status.
Well, it does, obviously, and it depends on like what you need to make to fit your lifestyle or your budget or whatever. But I mean, most people, if you don't have it figured out in 6 to 12 months, you're probably not going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Especially if you're at a place that is giving you the resources.
Right.
Like if you're being given leads and you have access to knowledge, and like you've got a BIC who you can call or communicate with pretty much 24/7, who's going to be there to walk you through things, to make sure that you understand it, to coach you, through that stuff. If you have all that and you're not converting in 6 to 12 months, then it's not about the resources you have. It's about you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And not everybody can do it. I mean, even with the best tools, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad, because a lot of people think anybody can do this job.
Right.
Not everybody can do this job.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, it is true.
With every nice, cool tool, website, app, everything, just because you have that doesn't mean you're going to be successful.
So, if somebody says, Doug, I want to join the Oceanaire Realty, how do they do it? What do they do?
Give me a call and let's talk about your goals and what you want to accomplish and make sure it's the right fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you had to be in the position of turning people away?
I have. Yeah. I mean, not everybody's the right fit.
Yeah.
I think, I think it's good to have a good kind of gut in real estate, not only working with clients to kind of sniff out the sometimes, which we get increasingly more of that thrown at us with spam calls and, hey, text me on WhatsApp and all that every single day now. So you got to be able to sniff that stuff out, and you got to be able to do that when you're interviewing agents too, but I know Brandon said this on the podcast. I do tend to see the best in people, and I am more inclined to give, maybe people an opportunity who don't quite deserve it, or give them a little bit more leniency to figure it out, just because I want people to be successful.
Right.
And I'll admit that's probably my biggest challenge as a leader, is that I don't hold people as accountable as I should because I want them to be successful.
Right.
Which, I'm still working at that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I can see that you're a good person and you're trying to contribute, again, not everybody is set out to do this at a really high level.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I love to give people an opportunity if they seem genuine and they really want to do it and they have clear goals about what they want to accomplish.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
I like to bet on people.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, that's cool. Good trait to have.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you strike out, but
I mean, I think we're in a really cynical time right now where people jump to the worst conclusion about people initially. I still really, really try to see the best in people to begin with. And then if I see the worst in you, well, you probably proved it to me. Right. Over time. But I want to give people the benefit of the doubt to begin with.
For sure.
Yeah. But I mean, I love meeting new people, and I especially love giving agents an opportunity.
Yeah.
Whether that be somebody just starting out who wants to figure it out, who wants those resources to kind of build a career underneath them, or a really experienced agent who needs to be somewhere, doesn't want to have their own thing, but doesn't want to have to go to an office.
Right.
Doesn't want to have to sit in meetings all the time.
Right.
Doesn't need the constant hand holding and the accountability because they've got it figured out.
Right.
So I like that mix, and I like having those agents work together.
Yeah.
Because I think they still learn from each other. Because they're having different conversations. So when you bring those conversations together, it's better for everybody. Because a new agent's going to ask different questions than an agent who's been a top producer for 10 years.
Right.
But that question they ask could still be very applicable to what's happening for that very experienced agent.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah. No, that's cool culture for sure. What'd you think of the coffee?
Really good. I still didn't taste any apple. But really good.
Yeah. I don't even know if mine's still hot. It's not.
It's not really hot anymore. It's still good though. I think I got some barley there though.
I don't know what barley tastes like, so maybe I do.
You watch Hot Ones?
Yeah.
Great show.
Great show.
Yeah. I keep asking my kids, "Hey, do you want to get the because you can buy like the wing thing, sauces and do it?" And they're like, "We tried that with like jelly beans one time, like really hot jelly beans. That they did not last long, so I don't think they want to do."
I want to just know. I should just get the final hot sauce to see how hot it actually.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I'm like, are some of these people just like, are you soft, or is it really that bad?
Yeah.
What drives me nuts about that show, I think. So I watched one with Shia LaBeouf.
Okay.
And the dude ate every wing till there was like nothing left
down to the bone.
Down on every wing. And I'm like, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
And then you get like freaking Joe Jonas, who takes like the smallest little nibble, and it's like, dude, and he's like, oh my goodness, that's so hot. And I'm like, you didn't even taste it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there should be a standard.
Right.
You got to eat the wing.
Right.
Not
Before
a
you
little
can move
bit
to the next one.
Yeah. And I get it, it's hot, but I'm like, tough it up, man. I mean, you're on the show. You gotta deal with it.
It's really funny to watch, just like the wild range of reactions that people have. Because like some people are just like completely unfazed, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people are like halfway through and like sweating. And it's a great concept. I love the concept of the show. It's a really good idea.
It is. And then to like have to answer questions when you're just
right,
drenched with sweat. Right. You're like, you can't even think because you're so hot. I watched the one with Vince Vaughn, and he took it like a champ.
Oh,
he was the man. And he started like the last one, he just like dumped it on there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But
I don't know if I've seen the Vince Vaughn one. That's I got to go find it.
Yeah. I love Vince Vaughn. He's so funny. But yeah, there's some really good ones. There are some that I'm like, man, this is just not good. Like you guys suck. It's really the dudes who take the nibbles that drive me nuts. I can't watch this, dude.
You can tell they're not wing eaters.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're embarrassing yourself right now. Like, man up and take a bite. You know what I'm saying? But maybe I would be a sissy too if I was on the show. I don't know.
Are you a flats or drums guy?
Oh, flats all day.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have this little technique that I've been doing forever, where it's a lot messier, but I'll take the small bone out, whatever it's called. Like usually, if they're good wings, it'll come out clean. And then I'll take the one top end, push it down a little bit so it disconnects, and then dip it, and then you can pull it all off at once. And I can crush the wings.
Nice.
Wings is up there as one of my top favorites.
Mine too. Yeah. Where's your favorite place to go
to get wings?
Yeah.
This is gonna sound biased because I live in Angier.
Okay.
So I grew up in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I believe we have some of the best I've had wings and pizza in Northeast Pennsylvania. You got a lot of people from moving down from New York.
Okay.
From the city, and then all those Italians start throwing little shops down in Scranton, and they've killed it. The best wings I've had since being down here, and I'm open to suggestions, is this little pizza place in Angier called Two Cousins.
Really?
Even before I moved there, I thought they were the best.
Okay.
Yeah, I think their pizza's phenomenal. Their calzones are unreal, and their wings are. I like your wings got to be crispy.
Okay.
And they are.
Okay.
They're money. They're not like small or anything. They're pretty big, but they're crispy. And,
okay.
Yeah, they're money, man.
Two Cousins.
Okay. In Angier.
I'm gonna get down there.
Yeah.
I've been down in South Raleigh, so it's not that far.
Yeah, no, it's not that far. And their prices are good. Like way cheaper than if you go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
Really?
Although Buffalo Wild Wings does like $25 all you can eat.
Really?
I could throw back to this. Yeah, like me and my wife went for lunch, and I didn't know they were doing it. So I was like, oh, let me get a dozen wings, which was like $17.
Yeah.
And then, or it was 25 all you can eat. And I'm like, I'll do that. And I threw back like 40 some wings.
Dang. Nice.
For lunch.
That's incredible.
Not even prepared.
I hope they gave you a shirt or something.
No, so they have a board.
Okay.
And my brother, who's a state trooper, dude can eat. Like, I feel like I can eat a lot. That dude can throw back food. I'm like, I sent him a picture. I'm like, let's try to get up on this board. And so I asked the waitress, I was like, how do you do that? She's like, oh, yeah, it's just up there, but we don't actually put any names up there. And I'm like, all right, well,
what?
Mind that. She's told me that a guy came in, looked like, he wasn't fat, but she said like he was jacked, had to be 300, 400 pounds, just like linebacker type guy.
Okay.
He in 4 hours? He ate two. My wife has better memory than me. 200 some wings.
What?
Yeah. So then when she told me that, I was like, well, I'm not eating.
Not gonna get on the board.
No, I ain't get on the board. And then we did a thing. We looked it up. Who ate the most amount of wings? His was boneless.
That doesn't count.
That's what I'm like. That doesn't count.
Those are chicken nuggets.
Yeah, those are straight chicken nuggets.
Yeah. I'll die on that hill.
Yes, I am with you.
Yeah.
But the record for like the most amount of wings eaten in an hour or something is it's absurd. Like it's like a wing every 10 seconds.
Wow.
Crazy like that.
They probably definitely have the bone technique figured out, huh?
Yeah.
If you're going to put them away like that.
Yeah. But mine is so messy because I'm like cramming it together just to get the thing and pulling out one. And I'm a big blue cheese guy, so I have to dunk it in the blue cheese.
Oh, now see, I'm ranch. I can't blue cheese.
Yeah.
It's just never been my thing. But hey, you got to do are you celery or carrots?
I am a non-veggie human being.
Just straight to the wings. Okay.
My wife will be like, "Oh, I'll take your salary." I'm like, "Great," because it's going in the trash.
Nice. Well, I didn't mean to hijack your conversation about wings, but
no,
that was great.
No, I'm a big wing guy. I'm a big like anything greasy and unhealthy. That's what I'm in for.
Perfect.
100% like pizza, burgers, wings.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I don't know which one's my favorite, but it have to be like if I'm watching like the UFC fights, something. Like it's got to be wings.
Really?
I got to be watching the UFC with wings. But like if we're at home, like if we go out to like a bar or something,
Mm-hmm.
like a good greasy burger, I feel a lot of places, since this is a real estate conversation, which whatever, it's my show. A lot of places get the burger wrong because the bun. I think it all comes down to the bun.
Okay.
Bun's got to be a brio bun,
Yeah.
and it's got to be buttered. It's got to be soft.
Yeah.
If you have a bun that like it's like firm,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how good the patty is, the
Yeah.
seasonings are, it's just not that good.
Right.
I think it really comes down to the bun.
Yeah. I'm with you on the brioche. That
Yeah.
100%. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Definitely.
If I see one though, like that's like, oh, we got a brio bun, I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the coffee?
That's pretty high. I would, maybe 8.
Okay.
Just because I don't know what a 10 would be. So, but I mean, I think it's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. For whatever, it was pretty robust for being a medium. It wasn't my favorite. I don't know. I'd probably do a 7.5, 7.6. Close.
That's not bad for not being a favorite. I mean, that's pretty high.
That is pretty high. My highest was a 9.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like I put myself in a box. I said it because I was drinking. I'm like, man. But then I'm also like, it really was
really good.
It was the best coffee I've ever had. I can't give it a 10 because then I'll cheapen the score of 10.
Sure.
But I felt like maybe I cheapened the score of 9 a little bit too. So,
but
it was literally the best coffee I ever had.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had to go.
Don't sell your rating short.
But it was good. Yeah, you can find them. Their Facebook is Smooth Joe Coffee on Facebook. I don't know if they have Instagram. It's not on here if they do, but I would imagine it's Smooth Joe Coffee on Instagram as well. So look them up. It's in North Raleigh. And again, like I always say, my review for this is not on Smooth Joe. It seemed like a great place when I walked in. But the bean we rated was Smooth Joe's blend. They have a bunch of different blends there. So maybe we'll go when we circle back through. we'll try a different bean from them. But it was great. So where can people find you? Where can they find the Oceanaire Realty?
The best way to get in contact with me is to just call or text me. My phone number is 919-608-2760.
Awesome.
Really easy to get in touch with me. Text is the best way if you want a quick response. The Oceanairerealty.com. Oceanaire has an E on the end after air. It's like millionaire, but ocean.
See what you did there.
So, I'm really easy to contact. I'd love to talk to you, whether it's just about business or if you need help with real estate or you just want to talk about your favorite wing spot, because I'll always take another recommendation.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks so much for coming on, dude. This was fun. I'm glad you were able to dig into kind of the history of it and your take on agents and why they fail.
Well, thanks for asking. I appreciate it. It's been a really nice conversation.
Yeah.
Really nice to meet you. I appreciate you doing this for other agents as well, because like I said, I think conversation is really important and we're missing it a lot.
Yeah.
So keep having those conversations, and you guys out there keep having those conversations. And I'm going to suggest you do like an after dark version and bring in some bourbon or some beer.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Maybe we'll do
maybe
that.
you can do like a round table and have a couple of people in.
That would be cool. Yeah. We'll get you, Brandon, and a couple other dudes in there.
That would be fun.
Bourbon. Yeah, that would be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, granted, I'd have to invest more into the equipment. I need to buy some more microphones and a new interface, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's, after you really get rolling.
After we get rolling. Yeah, hopefully we'll start making some money someday on this, but if not, whatever.
I look forward to being able to say I was in like the first 20 episodes.
That's right. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, it was an honor, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Bye, everybody.